So I went into the office, turned on my lights, and I was working. And I remember looking up at the clock after having worked for what seemed like a long time, and I saw that it was 2 a.m. And I thought, God, wait a minute. And I was loving it. Don't get me wrong. I was having a lot of fun. I was super interested. I was having a blast with my job. But all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute. Okay, so am I a great lawyer? I'm like, I'm getting pretty good. Like I was doing good work, you know. Am I a great leader? I'm like, no, I'm just doing it all myself. I'm trying to do it all myself. I'm trying to get better and better and better and do it myself. So all of a sudden it occurred to me, while I was a good lawyer and while I had a book of business, 2 of the 3, legs of the stool of partnership at this firm, I wasn't really a leader. I thought, God, I'm not really, I had some people doing the work for me. Anyway, so that night, all of a sudden I just had this epiphany. Wait a minute. I'm sort of all about me getting good, all about me billing a lot, all about me being the best lawyer in the firm or whatever, and trying to be a superstar. But I wasn't helping all the other young lawyers come up, and I wasn't giving enough work to them, and I wasn't helping them to do the work. And so all of a sudden, my life changed. I decided, you know what? Wait a minute. I don't want to just be totally reliant on my own hours to accomplish work for clients. I need to do something more so I can do a better job for clients. And so I started becoming a mentor to all the young lawyers that came in. I started saying, okay, let me give you the work and let me teach you to do the work. And unlike most lawyers, and just real quick, at a law firm, partners almost never give client contact to the young attorneys. They go, I'll talk to the client. You just do the work. Okay. The goal of that is to make sure that the young associates don't steal the clients. Okay. They do the grunt work and I get the credit. That's the goal. That's the normal model in a law firm. But I turned that on its head. What I did is I said, look, to the young associate, if you were a young associate, I'd say, hey, Mir, I'll tell you what, I'm going to introduce you to this client. I want you to do the work. I'm here to help you. But here's what's needed. And I would teach you and you would start, but you would be the one calling the client, talking to the client, reassuring the client, having the meetings with the client. And so I actually empowered all the associates at the firm to have direct relationships with the clients. Now, the risk of that was I would lose the clients. Okay. And in fact, when I first started, a lot of the clients were mad at me. They're like, wait a minute, who's this Mir guy? And you did my work. Wait, no, I'm not good enough for you anymore. And I'm like, no. No, this Mir guy's awesome, and he bills at a lower rate, and I'm still here, but I want to do this work as efficiently as I can for you, which was true. But I'm also like, this Mir guy's awesome. Come in and meet him. And I'd sit down with me and Mir and the client, and I'd be like, hey, this is Mir. Mir's, he's a younger associate, but he's a hot ticket. He's smart. He wants to do great work. And you'd be shaking hands with the client at the end, and then pretty soon, a month or 2 in, it was you and the client that had the better relationship. And the client was like, hey, man, thanks for turning me on to Mir. He's awesome. And I'm glad he bills a lower rate and he's doing great work. Obviously I would be there, right, to help you if you were confused or whatever. So I did this with all the associates. And what happened was it built this incredible culture of empowerment at the firm because I was trying to make all my associates the very best versions of themselves. And by doing so, we were giving way, 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 way better service to clients at a lower billable rate. And all the associates were stoked, loved their jobs because they were like, man, I'm working for the client. And guess what, Mir? When do you think you'll do better work? If you're doing work for me, which I talk to the client about, or if you're doing it directly for the client? Directly. Directly, right? He's like, the client's looking at your work and going, oh, cool. Or maybe not so cool if you do a bad job. So, that empowerment of being that you're the owner of this client. You're the owner of the relationship. If it goes well, it's because of you, not because I smoothed it over. Now, yes, I'm behind you, helping you with things you might not know yet because I'm more senior. I've got more hours and I know more about the law. But so I started really supporting all my associates. And what happened was just by doing that, all of a sudden, guess what? I became a leader.